Hi, mentors. Welcome to another episode of Training with Sarah and Sarah. We have heard from a lot of you guys that it can be difficult to be a mentor to a mentee who is in middle school. So we're going to talk about that today. So, Sarah, what's some advice that you would have for our mentors for their mentees who are in middle school?
Yeah. So I think there are a number of things that come about in the middle school years. Number one, sometimes when you are directly contacting them, we have had mentors say that their mentee will ghost them. So you're reaching out, inviting them to do something, and you just don't hear anything back. And it could be for a number of reasons. Anything from their phone is shut off to they don't want to do that and they don't quite know how to tell you they don't want to do that, or they have other plans and they don't want to say no, or we don't know. We don't know why they might do that, but it's a thing that happens often in these years. So one way that you could combat that or, work through that, is that even if the parent has said, yeah, go ahead, directly contact your mentee, you might start looping the parent in and say, hey, I reached out, asked if they wanted to go to the pool party and didn't hear anything back. So just wanted to check with you, see if there's something going on or if you know a time that would work well for us to meet. It could be helpful depending on the parent. It might not be helpful. But what are some other suggestions you have for that situation, Sarah?
Yeah, so I would say just continue to reach out and don't give up. Try not to be discouraged. Even if you haven't met in, say, 3 months, say my mentee hasn't gotten back to me, we haven't been able to hang out. Don't give up. Keep reaching out. Reach out, say like once a month or something if you haven't been able to meet up, and just offer new suggestions. Maybe one of them will hit, and maybe that'll catch their attention. So
Also, we find that their interests can sometimes change. So maybe the things that you were doing before that they were really interested in, they're not anymore. So I would just say invite them to give suggestions like, hey, do you have any ideas of things that you would like to do that sound fun? That could be another idea of how to get that going again. And, just having that relationship digitally too, keeping it going, letting them know you're still there, you're still reachable if they need you. I think that's really, really important that you're not the one that drops off, that you're always answering and that they're ready to reach out and willing to connect when they are.
Yeah, and one of our mentors, Riley, he gave us some feedback a little bit because he was matched with his mentee while he was in middle school and his mentee's now in high school. But he told us that he would feel sometimes discouraged that he wasn't making a difference or anything with his mentee. But then he would hear from his mentee's mom and she would say Jeremiah really enjoys the time you spend together and is really benefiting from the time that you guys spend together. So, and he's even said now his mentee is in high school that they've kind of grown through that and have been able to move on a bit from some of that awkward time of not knowing if your mentee is appreciating you or if it's making a difference. But it really is. A lot of times they just don't necessarily have the language to articulate that. And
I would say it's not you. So we do have some mentors that say maybe they just want to be matched with someone else. Whenever we have asked the student, hey, would you want a different mentor? They're like, no, what are you talking about? So don't take it personally. It's not you. Just keep going. Lindsay said, hey, be fun and learn what the kind of cultural things are with middle schoolers. They'll think it's funny that this old person is trying to relate, but it goes a long way. And what were some other suggestions? We reached out to some of you and asked, and I just appreciated that your advice to other mentors was to keep sowing gospel seeds, keep teaching them what it means to be God's creation, being known by our Creator, and continue to know what it means to walk with Jesus and how that is important for eternity, but also for life here and now. So keep telling them about Jesus.
Yeah, and also just extend grace, both to your mentee, maybe to their family, and also to yourself too. Don't be too hard on yourself. don't think that you're failing if you're not able to meet regularly, but just continue to be consistent and show up and let your mentee know that you're there when they need you, and keep pushing through. So
Thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks.